Hello and welcome to Toastmasters Beta Bay TV. Welcome. My name is Ben Cardenas and I will be your host for today's show. I'm very excited about today's program. We have two exciting speakers from Evening Stars from San Francisco. Our first speaker is a master of health and wellness. She will be speaking to us today about the fifth project from the Entertaining Speaking Manual. Her title is Panic to Power, but here's the setup. Maria will be in the role as a keynote after-dinner speaker, speaking to the district conference, speaking at the district conference at the international contest. So please help me welcome Maria Leone.
Every Toastmaster member can be a confident and powerful speaker. What does it take? Do you remember the time when you had your first speech? Okay, I do. I was speechless. I had an 8-point font on my paper. I couldn't read a thing. Okay? What does it take to go from this kind of panic to power? Let me share this with you. This is a picture of Ed Tate and Darren LaCroix, the 2000 and 2001 world champion speakers. And you know who that is in the middle? That is me. And I am proud of that, and let me tell you why. A year and a half ago, I was in Toastmasters. I had been in Toastmasters for 4 years. Do you know how many speeches I had given at that point? 4. I was giving 1 speech a year. That's how scared I was. But I decided, let me do the calculations. If I wanted to CC, I had 6 more speeches, 6 years. If I want to be a DTM, that's another 10 speeches. That's, okay, 10 years, that's 10 plus 6 is 16. It would take me 16 years to graduate from Toastmasters. I could be dead. So I decided I have to either face my fear or get out of the business. So what I did is I made an agreement in my head that I would take every speaking opportunity that came along. And in that year and a half, I went from speaking once a year to having the nerve, the audacity, the courage to call Darren LaCroix and tell him I got over my fear. He said, wow, well, you know what? Ed and I are making a CD, Panic to Power. Why don't you be our guest speaker? I said, wow. So I flew out there, and 3 weeks later, I had my 10 minutes of fame, yay, and I produced my CD with them. Now, if I could go from a year and a half ago, speaking once a year, to now being comfortable around world champion speakers, what could you do? Let me share with you the strategy I used and that you can use to get you from there to here. Now, in the spring of 2011, after I made that decision in my head that I was going to not turn down any opportunity, my friend came up to me and said, Maria, you ought to compete in the International Speech Contest. Immediately, a little voice went off in my head, no, 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 no. And then I said, oh, no, but I made the agreement with myself that I better do it. So up went my hand. I said, yes, I'll do it. And so then I had to figure out, what am I going to talk about? I said, well, what's the easiest thing to talk about? Yourself. So I picked out a story about having cancer and being a cancer survivor. And I got up in front of the room, behind the lectern. There were 12 people in the club, and I had a death grip on the lectern. And I told my story. And you know what? They didn't care about my death grip. I won. Wow. Then I went to the next level. And this time, it was a narrow room, and it went all the way back, and all the chairs were facing me, and it felt like the people were like looking into my soul. I was like, what was I going to do? And I said, okay, I'll look at each person and give them a story. A piece of the story, piece of the story. And then I found out as I was going along, I was actually moving across the room. I was using arm movements. I was using all those techniques that I didn't know I had learned. And I won. Then I went to the next level. And this time, the audience was spread out in a semicircle. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't look in each person's eyes. It'll take me an hour to get to the other side of the room. So I decided, I'm just going to look at their expressions. And as I got to the end of the room, I could see the reactions on their faces. And I felt so privileged to be sharing that story with them because it affected them. I could see the change in them. And I won. Then I had to go up to the district level. Now, at the district level, there were about 60 to 100 people. Remember, at the club, there was 12. The next level, there was 30. Then there was 60. Now I was up at about 100. And it was just this square area that you stood on. There were tables over there, tables over there. There's no way to make eye contact. I couldn't even see the centerpieces. So I decided, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. So I just did the best I could. Then I went and I sat down and they announced the winners. Third place wasn't me. Second place, it wasn't me. First place, it wasn't me. Guess what I'm feeling at that moment? Hooray! I am so happy because, oh my gosh, if I had won, I'd have to make up 2 more speeches in another month. I'd have to go to Las Vegas. I'd have to be in front of thousands of people. This way, I could walk out of the room free. I had raised my hand, I had participated, I was done. And then as I'm walking out, someone came up to me and said, Maria, I belong to the Shanty Breast Cancer Society. I heard your story. People really need to hear that. Next week, we have a fundraiser. We would like you to be the keynote speaker. And then the voice said, no, 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 no. Yes, of course, I would love to do it. And a week later, I was speaking in front of 300 people. And I can tell you, this all happened within 2 months. I went from 12 to 300. Now I go back to my club to give my speech, my next speech in the company communicator, and I get up there and there's 12 people in the room. Guess what I'm thinking? Where is everybody? They don't want to hear me speak? Oh. But how would you love to feel like that? That there aren't enough people in the audience to hear your message. Wouldn't that be powerful? Wouldn't that make you feel powerful? It's not about how good you are. It's about how good do you want to be. And I give you this challenge. The next time that little voice goes off in your head, I want you to raise your hand. I want you to say, yes, I'll do it. And the next time an opportunity comes to participate in a contest or speak, do it. And I guarantee you in a year, you're not going to recognize yourself. You'll be proud of yourself. I'll be proud of you. In fact, I will feature you on my CD. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Rocco.
What a wonderful speech. It was quite inspirational. It sounds like through your fear, you found your voice.
I did. It was difficult. It's difficult to raise your hand, but got to do it.
So tell me, as a master of health and longevity, how has that helped you in Toastmasters or in your quest to be a better speaker?
It has helped a lot because, as I mentioned, the easiest thing to talk about is yourself. And for me, I had that story. And when you're telling that story and you see the eyes of the people reacting and you feel like you're causing a change in their world, you know, maybe you can help them make a choice that they wouldn't have made before.
Well, you know, that's terrific speech. I look forward to hearing you again and hope that I get to see you on that podium at the Humorous Speech Contest.
Thank you.
Terrific. Thanks very much. Isn't it great when you hear a story when somebody finds their voice? Well, the next voice is a member of my home club, ProMasters, who lives on the coast in Half Moon Bay, loves his family, and has found his passion, finding that perfect home for that family or getting rid of that nightmare in real estate. Please help me welcome Brian Lee.
Maria, what a gift that you bestowed upon us. We all remember when we were too scared to even think about joining a Toastmasters club. And you brought us right there with us. And it felt like a Hollywood story, but yet I know it was real because I heard your voice and I heard the passion and the authenticity that was right there with you. And it was just inspiring. I still have goosebumps hearing that. And to me, it's the power of when we flip the switch. When we flip the switch and we make a choice. And I'm really hearing how you felt the fear, but the choice to step up and to do something that a speech a year wasn't enough for you, to step up to really share who you are, which you did with us so eloquently. So again, thank you for sharing your movements, what you had done as learning to be a better speaker, and also sharing so much of yourself. I really felt there was a beautiful part of your vulnerability. I'm thinking, okay, wow, she became this speaker who started absolutely panic-stricken once a year, 10 years, 16 years. No, I can't do that. And something really switched, but you also shared something that you're a cancer survivor. And I think people were really touched by that opening up of who you are and sharing that with you. And I think the part that excited me the most about your speech is that by raising your hand again and again and again, many people, started with 12, then it was 30, and then it was 300, are getting the gift of who you are and what you have to share. I know as an evaluator, I'm supposed to come up with some very timely, helpful remarks to help you improve your speaking. And I'm really searching for that right now. Because when you find something that really just fits, we just say bravo. We say bravo. And I know we had a great 7-course meal as we're leading up to this, but I just applaud you many times. Thank you so much.
Every week, Toastmasters Beta Bay TV showcases a club in our district. And I'm very proud today to introduce our featured club. Now, you may think this is a setup, that this is the Ben Cardenas show. But quite frankly, I was surprised by our producer to say that my club, ProMasters, is our featured club. So please, see how we roll every Thursday morning at 7:30 at Mimi's Cafe in Foster City. If you like what you see, come join us.
My club is a morning meeting club. We meet once a week, every week. We start at 7:30, we end at 8:30. We meet at a cafe called Mimi's. We meet in the back room. They're very, very gracious to let us have the back room. And we also have a dedicated wait person. Nancy has been our wait person since the inception of the club. She's wonderful, she knows us all. She'll order your meal as soon as she sees you walk in. We actually have made her an honorary member, so we pay for her membership for Nancy to be a club member.
If your speech is engaging enough, they put down their fork and they listen. We definitely have a very friendly club. We all get along, we enjoy each other's company, which is part of the charm of this club. And it's not just about the speaking, it's about the leadership and getting to know people, networking for people who in this tough economic time may not have employment. Getting involved in Toastmasters gives you connections with people that do all sorts of things.
We're very high energy, we're very supportive, we're very fun, and we're very humorous. I, for one, look forward to Thursday mornings, whether I have a role or not, because it's just so much fun. We all care about each other. In a way, it's kind of like coming to a party or a family reunion. It's really fun.
Our club is very encouraging, and they encourage the new members to definitely take on the speeches quickly. It generates interest and enthusiasm. And each additional speech that you give bring on additional dimensions. So by the time you finish 10, I believe, they're trying to make you a very well-rounded speaker. But also various dimensions of public speech, such as how do you evaluate a speaker? How do you listen? How do you do impromptu speech? At the same time, you also build network and connect with like-minded people who are interested in improving themselves and make each of us a better person.
I'll be a Toastmaster for life. And why? I believe we can always improve our skills. There are several areas in my public speaking that I still think I can improve.
We sometimes are spilling out of our facility because we have so many people. People will show up, they'll come visit, and they'll join.
It's fantastic. I highly recommend it to anyone.
I love Toastmasters. I use the skill set every day in my public life as well as in my private life, and I encourage Anybody who has an interest in public speaking or fear of public speaking, come check out a club, join Toastmasters. Welcome back. Don't forget, ProMasters every Thursday, 7:30, Bridgepoint Plaza, Foster City. Our next speaker is the president of Evening Stars. She is also a member of 3 other Toastmasters Club. Tonight, she will be presenting Project 9 from the Competent Communicator Manual, Persuade with Power. Please join me in welcoming Danilova. Thank you.
It was January 2nd, 1991. I opened a door. The room was almost empty. Just a chair, a table, and the phone line. That's all I got in order to make profit on international money market. I was in charge of international department working for youngest and very ambitious bank in Siberia. And I would like to invite you to my first trading room because 20 years ago, international money market was available only for bankers. Thanks to the technology these days, it's available for everybody. And if you are looking for extra income, during the next 5 or 6 minutes, you are absolutely guaranteed to know everything you need to open a door to your trading room. Let's start from basics. International money market, also known as foreign exchange, or Forex, or FX. It's when one money sold for another money. Somebody has Canadian dollars and would like to buy United States dollars. Somebody else has United States dollars and looking to buy Canadian dollars. They found each other, negotiated the rate, also known as the price. Voila, FX deal is done. You could say, Svetlana, come on, who needs Canadian dollars? Well, there are a lot of companies who trade internationally. Let's assume we are a high-tech company in Silicon Valley. We produce sophisticated equipment. We buy components from Japan, and we sell our products to scientists in Australia. First of all, we have to exchange our United States dollars with Japanese yen in order to pay for chips, for components. And our customers, when they receive our product, might pay us United States dollars or Australian dollars. We will ask them to pay us Australian dollars because we are smart. During the last 2 months, the rate of Australian dollars is growing up compared with United States dollars. A few days later, we will sell it for more, and we will make profit not only by selling our product, but also operating on foreign exchange market. Are you still with me? Great. There is always a demand of one currency. If more people would like to buy United States dollars, the rate is growing up, and vice versa. And rate is changing every single second. Sometimes market acts like a hysterical woman going up and down, up and down. It's very attractive business, but very risky and bloody. And attractive because of 3 simple reasons. Number 1, the FX market is cheap. You don't need to pay a commission for FX transaction, unlike on stock market. The number 2nd reason is FX market never sleeps. When day is over in San Francisco, sunrise in Japan, then rolls over to Singapore, London, New York, and coming back to California again. What does it mean for you? You could trade after work hours, right? And the reason number 3, FX market is extremely liquid. It's much easier to illustrate liquidity when we are in the bar, but for here, for studio, I would say that liquid means that when you bought something, you don't need to wait. You could sell it right away. And that 3 reasons make FX market is very attractive, not just for the companies who would like to trade or to buy or to sell foreign currency because they need to pay for the merchandises. It's attractive for everybody. Now you know everything about FX market. And in order to get started, you need a tool, right? And the tool will help you to connect to the market, to analyze the market, and make deals. And financial institutions or banks who will provide FX services for you will give that tool to you for free. What would be your next step? That's right. Analyze the market and try to predict rate. Because you need to know what's going on over there. And you could use the technical analysis, meaning a lot of charts, a lot of indicators, mathematical approach. If you hated algebra since your high school, not a problem. Use fundamental analysis. It means read the news. And if you heard that a lot of cars from Japan were shipped to the United States, then United States dollars will grow up compared with Japanese yen. It doesn't matter what tool you are using in order to analyze the market. You need to understand every time what's going on. It's just like safety precaution when you drive the car. You have to know what's going on right and left, front and back, in order to estimate the risk of crash. To be safe on the market, do the same thing. I fell in love with the FX market 20 years ago. It's very attractive because it never sleeps, it's very liquid, and it's very cheap. There are a lot of tools which will be used in order to analyze the market. Yeah, I understand. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis sounds quite complicated, but trust me, it's doable, and it's much easier than to understand the woman. If you will play safe, if you will plan accordingly, I guarantee you will be successful in your trading room. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Lana. So if I plan and if I do my research, then I can be successful.
You have to do one more thing. You have to analyze every single deal you do. And you have to analyze every single profit or loss you do in order to avoid that mistakes in the future.
Oh, wow. So it's not as easy as it sounds.
It's still doable, as I said.
Are you on the research side or on the sales side?
I was on both sides.
And where do you like, which side do you like the best?
It depends. Every side it has its pluses and minuses. Analytics, it's quite complicated sometimes, but at the same time, you couldn't be good in sales if you don't support analytics.
Well, I am looking forward to learning more about it. And actually, can I have your card?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much for a wonderful speech.
Thank you.
I remember when I was young, the term Forex meant something completely different. Our evaluator for Lana's speech is a member of San Francisco Japanese English Toastmasters, San Francisco Jets. Please welcome Geoff Wing.
Hi, Geoff. Thank you. Well, I'm honored today to be here to evaluate Lana's speech. The reason why Toastmasters do evaluations is to reflect on the things that went well, reflect on the things that could improve, and this is so that Lana and everyone who's a Toastmaster can learn how to improve their journey to public speaking. I was really impressed by Lana's speech. Her objective was to persuade with power, because she really did persuade me that I could understand foreign exchange markets. I didn't know anything about them until she came here and explained in a very clear way, in a very engaging way, in a very humorous way about what Forex is and why there are strategies in Forex. I really enjoyed her clarity, the examples she gave. I enjoyed the opportunities she gave us to laugh. And I really enjoyed how she gave a compelling story about herself, how she fell in love with foreign exchange markets, and how we might have that same opportunity. I will say that she did a remarkable job in making something that is extremely abstract into something that is live. And she did it through her body language. She was talking about doing, for example, going through the different time zones in the world. I really like that symbolism. She was talking about how in foreign exchange there is a flow of time, and she was explaining that with her body language. Great use, not just of words and analytical thinking, but also of body language to explain complicated things. Now, in an evaluation, there's always something that can be improved. And as I was listening to how I might get involved in foreign exchange, I was thinking, my God, this is complicated. It requires technical analysis. It requires, well, algebra. And I was getting nervous. And so I would say that maybe to improve this and to make it more powerful, well, maybe it was powerful because now I am going to be looking at your speaking schedule to find out how you will be explaining the next step. I look forward to it.
Thank you, Geoff. Thank you for a very good evaluation. Thank you for participating in today's show. I'd like to recognize Toastmasters Beta Bay TV for putting this on, both producers and crew. Thank you very much for working with us, our studio audience for coming. If you'd like to participate with Toastmasters Beta Bay, please visit www.d4tm.org and look for the Beta Bay TV link and sign up. If you're interested in attending ProMasters, you can contact me at benthepromaster@gmail.com. Thank you to our viewers out on the World Wide Web and at home. This is a wrap. Thank you. Okay. What up, guys?